Hey folks, and welcome back to another video. Today we're looking at question 82, remove duplicates from sorted list 2. The way we'll be approaching this problem is by keeping a track of the previous node that we've seen, and we keep moving the current node forward till we know that we've reached a node that's not duplicate. So it's pretty straightforward, so let's jump right in. The first thing we need is a dummy starter node. So let's initialize that. New list node, let's initialize value to 0, but it doesn't really matter. Let's say dummy.next equals head, and the reason why we do this is because if we keep traversing the linked list, at some point we'll lose a track of the head. So therefore, to be able to access it in the end when we want to return the head of the node, that's the reason why we create a dummy node and initialize the next node to head. So in the end, you can just do this. Return dummy.next. So therefore, you're returning the head, and you haven't lost a track of it. Awesome. And the other thing you also need is to initialize the previous node. So previous equals to dummy. The reason why you need that is because anytime you want to remove any of the nodes, you need access to the previous element to attach it to the element that you actually need. So that's the reason why we need a previous list node as well. And after that, we're good to start actually coding the meat of the solution. So the first thing that you need to check in the while loop is while head is not equal to null. While the head is not equal to null, which means as long as the linked list has more nodes, we keep going forward. And the first thing that you need to check is that if head.next is not equal to null and head dot value is equal to head.next.value, that means they're the same and we need to do something. So we'll do something then. Else, what we just need to do is we need to move the previous to previous would be equal to previous dot next, and we also need to move head would be equal to head dot next. So what are we doing here? So what we have so far is what we're checking is, hey, you know what, is the next node not equal to null? And if the next node's value is equal to the current node, we do something. If not, we just iterate we move the previous node to the next one, and then we say head would be equal to head dot next. So basically, if that doesn't work, you are updating the previous node values, and not the values, but just what it's pointing to. So the previous one would be moved to the next node, and the head also would move to the next node. So if this condition holds, right, you need to keep moving your head forward. So what you do is that while you'll just do the same thing again, you'll just check for this. While the head dot next is not equal to null and the values are the same, you just keep iterating head would be equal to head dot next, right? And then once we're done with that node, we need to update those values. So previous dot next would be equal to head dot next. So why exactly are we doing this? Here, if we move to an example, we look at 3, and then while the next one is 3, or while the next node that you're looking at is the same, we keep moving the head forward. And as soon as you hit 4, 3 and 4 don't really match. So that's where you stop. And then the previous, which is 2 right here, will be attached to head.next. The head currently would be pointing at 3, but since 3 and 4 are not matched, you would attach head previous.next to head.next. So that's what we're doing here. And in the end, what you need to do is just update the head. So I hope that's pretty straightforward. That's the entire solution, actually. So let's try compiling it to see if it's okay. The first test case is okay. Everything else is okay as well. Awesome. Let's talk about the space and the time complexity. The time complexity of the entire solution is O of n, since we do need to iterate through all of the nodes in the linked list. And the space complexity is O of 1, since we're not really using any additional space. Awesome. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. It really motivates me to keep making more videos. Thanks so much, and I'll see you all